Hey everyone, Michelle Hart here. Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to review True Black Tarot. We are going to try to review True Black Tarot. I've done this video countless times, and it's just a tough one to do because I actually want to say so much about this deck that it's hard for me to summarize. So first and foremost, love the packaging that this deck comes in. The way it was sent and everything was beautifully done. I love the box that it comes in. It's got this lovely little saying within it. Love the magnetic, like it's a nice strong magnet, and it's but it's like real easy. I don't need to like dig nails in to try and open up. It's nice. It's nice. Now, essential to this particular deck is this booklet that comes with it. He has a little bit of a different take. I mean, very similar, but like a little bit of a different take on each of the cards, and this has been wonderful because it is very profound for what it is. It's a small book. There's only one page for each of the minor arcana. There's two for the major, but for each of the minor arcana there's only one page, and yet within that he says a lot in a small amount. I feel like a lot of effort and time and thought was put into this particular deck and into the booklet itself. Now, in each of the major arcana, he gives it in here. You have the regular card artwork, and then there's additional artwork in like a glossy background kind of thing. And it's any number of things. You have, let's see, there you go. It's spanning mythology, astronomy, and even psychology. So these additional designs link the themes of the major arcana with tangible, real-world references. So it's almost like a lot of them kind of have more of a more modernized or just an attempt at making some of the cards' meanings a little bit more tangible to modern life. So this is just an extra card that comes with it. Finely crafted artifacts, as it says. Absolutely accurate on that one. Love the rose petal feel to these cards. The only complaint I have is that rose petal fingerprints show up really well, which is not a favorite, and shuffling shuffling this deck. Do not rifle shuffle this deck. I made the mistake of doing that. Do not rifle shuffle this deck. You've got to find another way to shuffle it. Overhand is probably your best bet. Either way, it is my biggest complaint with this deck is just that it's awkward to shuffle. Other than that, love this deck. So I'll start going through the cards here. So this is the Fool. Absolutely love the Fool. How sweet is that Fool? Look at that. What's really nice is that he mentions in the booklet that he's got like the fish represents a suit of cups, and the birds representing, wow, I'm so sorry, words are hard. Basically what I'm trying to say is all the suits are in the image here, are represented in the images here. So now this background image, what looks like butterfly wings, is the Lorenzo effect. This is the extra artwork that he was talking about. Now you can look up the Lorenzo effect, or if you get the deck, he does explain it in the book. And it's essentially like chaos theory mapped out on a computer. If that makes any sense, like I said, you can look it up. But very cool. Okay, so every single one of the major arcana has a little something like that has that reflective bit of artwork in the background. Magician, oh, this is one of my favorite magicians. He just, that fire of creativity, and it looks like he's creating a whole little universe of planets there. It's so cool. One of my favorite magicians. There's something about the fire and the mysteriousness of him that just, it's very intense to me. High Priestess. Love this High Priestess. Beautifully, she's got, words are hard. Pendulum. There you go. A little pendulum in one hand. She's got the pomegranate in the other. She has this key around her neck. There's the extra artwork in the background. It's beautifully done. she's sitting on the moon. Like, there's all these little things. For as simple as the artwork is, there's a lot in it. Now, every single one of the, of the people are floating. Even though there's like, she's sitting down, right? She's floating. And so I think he mentioned it in the book. I'm trying to remember because I did a lot of reading about him beforehand on his website and everything. And he did that intentionally to kind of give, these are ideals that we're looking at, right? These are not, they're not actual humans. I'm trying to find a way to describe that, but we're looking at archetypes. There we go. We're looking at the archetypes of these cards. And so these archetypes are ideals that we've associated with these people, but they are not the people themselves. So it's like elevating these images to an ideal, as opposed to, oh, that's just a person sitting in a chair. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So we have obviously the Empress here. I like, once again, it's that simplicity of the black and white, and you have like gold in some, you have red in others, like very, very little color, but when it's there, it just pops. The Emperor. I love the Emperor. I mean, I'm going to say that about every single one of these cards. I love every single one of these cards. The Hierophant. The Lovers. Oh, this, I love his explanation of this with the whole, the thread of like fate has kept them attached, even though they're like facing opposite directions. This thread of fate has united them and kept them together throughout ages. And it's really a beautiful Lovers card. Once again, it's lifting to that ideal, to that archetype. Chariot. This is not my favorite Chariot, but I really do like the way he has the wings in the background are just beautiful. The whole thing is just beautiful. Strength. This, oh, I love the Strength card because it is showing strength. You have this huge snake in the background, right? And this is this character actually trying to protect the snake. Even though this is this big, fierce creature, this weak, frail human being is, or apparently frail human being, we don't actually know, I guess, but perceived frailty is protecting this big, strong creature that seems like it should be able to defend itself. And she's trying to bring peace to the situation as best she can, standing between herself and the unforeseen, or the unseen, unforeseen? Wow. Between between the snake and the unseen mob that's attacking it. You can see, not particularly clearly, I guess, there's like arrows and kind of stuff in the snake already. So he's seen some things. So it's a great description of strength and courage. It just is beautifully done. The Hermit, once again, I love this card. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see it. I've got like my fingerprints are all over it. So love this Hermit. Very simple again. But I love how he has just this mysteriousness. He's just giving you a hint of his knowledge. That's the feeling I get from it, is like just peeping out of the cloak there, giving you a hint of his wisdom. I hope I'm saying things clearly. So, Destiny. Oh, shoot. Is it? Not Judgment. What is the replacement for Destiny? Fortitude? I feel like I should remember this. I can't remember what the replacement for Destiny is. I'm sorry, guys. But I think it's actually well done. I'll tell you what, I'll look it up for you guys just in case you don't get the deck, but really, if you can afford it, it's a wonderful deck. Why can't I find it? Oh, here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, it replaces the Wheel of Fortune card. Duh. You would think I would remember that one. So, Destiny replaces the Wheel of Fortune card. And it's like this creature creating the threads of fate into this crazy orb looking thing above his head. Very, very cool looking. It's got the world. I mean, there's so many little things. Like I said, everything that's in here was intentionally done. Justice. You have the veil over his face, kind of that whole blind justice idea. I love that they have the signs in the background there. I think that's the symbol of justice. I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it's the constellation Libra. So the scales of justice is the additional artwork on that particular card. The Hangman. Oh, this interpretation of the Hangman, this changed how I viewed the Hangman. And it's just this idea of like self-sacrifice, but willing self-sacrifice, and beautifully done. I really, really advise that if you get this deck, that you just go through and read his interpretations of each of the cards. His descriptions of each of the cards is just beautiful. Like I said, this one, it changed. When you have a deck that actually changes your view of a card in general, that's pretty impressive in my opinion. The Death card. Oh, how gorgeous is that Death card? I want to hang that on my wall. How gorgeous is that? Oh, just beautiful. You have this, he's holding on to his skull, but it's pouring down and creating nourishment for this flower. That idea of like that circle of life, that cycle of death, and making way for growth, and even nourishing that new growth is just remarkably done. Temperance. Love this Temperance card. It is, I look at it and I just feel like this is that simplicity once again, but also explaining within that simplicity what that card is all about. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm saying a lot of words that may not be making sense, but I will try to explain it. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, for temperance, moderation is key. Yeah, this is the way he explains it. Is red within white, blood within milk, passion within peace. That's, if you look at the hands, you have the red hand with the white orb and the white hand with the red orb in it. So that's kind of like that, and that whole yin and yang symbol in the additional artwork there as well. So it's a very beautiful way to describe the Temperance card. This is a beautifully done Devil card. I am actually going to read, I'm going to have to read it. I'm telling you, I want to read the entire booklet to you. I wish I could, because it's what he explains, or what he talks about, is just beautifully done. So we have the, oh my gosh, here we go. So the wings are representative of he says, recalling the Christian incarnation of Lucifer as one of God's beautiful angels fallen into sin. One hand is lifted to its lips in a whispering gesture, recalling the demons of Islam. Shaitan, I think that's how you say that, I'm not 100%. One who whispers into the hearts of mankind. And then you have all around, you have these coins are falling in the background. It's kind of a little bit hard to see. But you've got like all that little gold in the background are coins that are falling down. And we have obviously all these strands here. These are all chains. So it's like temptation is a willing prison, more dangerous for being more beautiful. How wonderfully written is that? So love this devil card. And these little diamond shapes or whatever, the little extra artwork in the background, there you go. Talks about, what is the name of it? The Milgram's experiment. So, rough experiment to read about. I remember reading about it when I was young and going, oh, it just made me sick to my stomach. But, I mean, if you have any interest, you can look it up. I'm not going to go torturing myself and read the whole thing myself. This tower, I love. I'm going to say that about every card. I'm so sorry. Love this tower. This is the beautiful interpretation of when the whole world falls apart, when the whole world is kind of crumbling around you. You feel it in your being. You feel like you are the one falling apart. And I think that is just to me, it's a perfect interpretation of the tower. I've had other people who disagree with me, but you know. The star, wonderfully done. Still beautiful. I like how her dress kind of just disappears into that background there. The moon, this idea of like illusion, because you have this, the moon, the crescent moon here, is actually, it's her own hand that she's reaching out towards that bowl of water in the picture. It's in the background, it's her hand actually above her. So it's this interesting way to depict illusion. Very cool. The sun, this is just a nice sun card. Not a whole lot, obviously you have the sunflowers in there and everything, and the beautiful freedom in it, but not a ton of that other than that. This is Judgment. See, okay, I don't know if you can tell, I totally bent this card. This and one other one, I got the other one replaced, thankfully. This is what I was saying before. We're working with these people was just a delight. They went ahead and replaced the card that I bent and didn't even charge me for it. He normally charges a few dollars for individual cards, but doesn't specify like which one he's going to give you. At least that's the way he did it before. I don't know if he's doing it that way still, but I explained the situation to him. Actually, my husband did, and said, look, this was a birthday gift for my wife, and this is what happened, and can I just buy this specific card off of you? And it was the Three of Swords. This one bent too, but like the Three of Swords was really obvious. And he was like, no, I'll just give it to you. And we were just so grateful for their generosity, and it was just working with them was just so wonderful. So I was very thankful for working with them. So this Judgment, there is so much going on with this Judgment card. I love it almost as much as the Devil card for the amount of symbolism that is in it. But I, once again, will have to leave you guys to read it yourselves. But it's beautiful, all the little things that it symbolizes. The world, beautiful. Once again, it's that gold, that simplicity of that gold in with the plain black and white. Now this is an additional card that he added to his deck. This is Anant, I think is how you say it. And its keywords are endless, infinite, exempt, and cyclical. So it refers to like the never-ending, the eternal, that continuous. What does he explain it as? Anant exists outside of these constraints of temporal existence, right? It always has been and always will be. It's a core concept shared by other world religions. Very, very cool addition to the deck. I actually really like. So, I don't know what I'm doing that way. So those are all the major arcana. And I like how you put the Anant right between the major arcana and the minor arcana, kind of, once again, that symbolizing that continuous cycle of things. So I'm going to go through the minor arcana a lot. Words. I'm going to go through the minor arcana a lot faster here. So this is the Ace of Wands, right? I think. This is, okay, so this is my complaint. I look at this and I see feather and I think air, the element air, which is associated with the element of swords, or the suit of swords. But that's not what this is. So there's a little bit of confusion in the artwork to me, especially with the suit of wands. That's the Two of Wands. Yeah, okay. Three of Wands. So like you see, you've got the wands in there, but they're just not always the focal point. The focal point is more like they're trying to get a message across, and sometimes the wands are the focal point and sometimes they aren't. So sometimes it's hard to tell what suit each one is. That's a 7. That's the 8 of Wands. And I think he, yeah, I mean, like, he goes into the explanation for all of these in the booklet. This is the 9 of Wands. I fell in love with this 9 of Wands. This was like one of the images that kind of sealed the deal for me. I loved this deck anyway from the images I was looking at, but like this was kind of the image that, like, I don't know, there's something about it that, like, yep, I get it. The 10 of Wands. You got the beetles there. This is the Page of Wands. I love this Page of Wands. She's like opening a portal to another world and just like diving right in. Just pure Page of Wands energy going in head first, or heels first. I don't know, I guess feet first. But just diving right in without, like, throwing caution to the wind, without a thought. This is the Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Every single one of them. The King of Wands. I really like how he kind of creates these crowns out of different material for each one. Now we're getting into the swords. This is the Ace of Swords. And once again, this is, there's fire, which I normally associate with wands, not with swords. So there's, like, it's mixed up to me, but it's still, once you get used to the deck, it's not that difficult, but like the initial imagery is like, throws me off a little bit. Obviously the Two of Wands, or Two of Swords. Jeez. This is the card. This is the Three of Swords. This is the one that I originally destroyed and he replaced for me. And I still have the other one, even though it's bent, because I think it's just a wonderful reminder that even though it's seen some things, it still has worth and beauty. The Four of Swords. This is just, it's beautifully done. Once again, I wish I could read his description and his interpretation of things, because I think it's beautiful. This one too is not at all what I expected, but his interpretation is well done. I really wish I could read every single page of his booklet to you. What are we at? We are at the Six of Swords here. The Seven of Swords. The Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. Love the interpretation of this one. He might have, I think this one, if you look on Kickstarter, I think it's still there. It gives the explanation to this particular card. The Ten of Swords. This is one of the most beautifully hopeful Ten of Swords ever. Like, you still you have all that death in the background, but there's still that hope. And I absolutely love that in this Ten of Swords. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords going in, you know, full on, both swords ready to go. Queen of Swords. This is one of my favorite Queen of Swords. This is, the sword is actually going through her left hand in this one. It's just in front of the right hand, but it's actually going through the left hand, kind of the symbol of, like, sometimes the truth hurts. Queen is very much a An honest character, I would say. And sometimes things need to be said that are uncomfortable to say. And I think that symbolizes that very well. The king, that sword just held in, stabilizing him to the ground there. The ace of pentacles or coins. I guess it's coins in this deck. Oh, I love this. Look at how pretty. Look at how pretty. I think it is a ferret, right? I'm thinking of the right animal. I love animals in general. I just don't like having them. I have cats because it's like one of the few animals I can tolerate. Yeah, it's a ferret. Okay. I just had to double check that. I tolerate cats because they're just really low maintenance, but I have a cousin who she's had multiple ferrets in the past, and they're the cutest looking things, but not something I would want as a pet, if you know anything about them. What are we on? We're on the 3 of coins here. Beautiful. Love this concept. The earth, the water, and the seed all working together to create this life, this growth. This is the 4 of coins. And this idea of like, this idea of being stuck. And I normally like see the 4 of coins kind of more as a stability card, but this is not stability. This is straight up, you are stuck here. And you have these poor butterflies, absolutely beautifully done. I love the blue in this. Just stuck in this web. Very, very beautiful way to portray something that's kind of frustrating to experience. The 5 of coins here is pretty obvious, I feel like. The 6 of coins, this idea of like the ones that are kind of sacrificing, holding up the ones that are on top. It's very interesting. 7 of coins, that balance of things. Like I said, I wish I could read all of all the descriptions of all the things. But he does a beautiful job in it. And honestly, I don't want to give the entire book away. The 8 of coins. I like the images. The images change on every single coin. I don't know if not every single coin, but like every single card. In the coins in the cards. There we go. I'm telling you, words are hard. But it's like the artwork is just detailed in a way that I love. Oh, I love this image. Just that idea of kind of luxury, of all the things that this animal needs, right? You've got food, money. I don't know what the animal's gonna do with money, but like you can tell that this animal is just like in the lap of luxury and well taken care of. And almost has that little, almost a smirk on the face. Look at that grin. Now this is 10 of coins, which I know that this is like an Indian symbol. I want to say of like luck and like, I don't remember all the things it's supposed to symbolize, but I remember when I first saw this card going, oh, I don't like that one. It's probably the one in the entire deck that I'm just like, oh, it's not my favorite. It's still beautiful artwork, just the portrayal of things is not my favorite. The page of coins, just like hanging in, gathering that fruit there. The knight of coins. I love this. This is, you can't tell particularly well, but it's a female. You see a little bit like of the long hair there. But you don't necessarily associate the knights with female energy, but he incorporated it into his deck here, which I thought was really cool. The queen of coins, and once again, like all the coins are underneath her. It doesn't not always obvious what suit it is, but it's still there. It's always in the picture. It's just, like I said, not always the forefront. The King of Coins. I love that a little addition, like all the little gold coins attached to his, I don't know what you would call that. It's, I want to say scarf. That's not a scarf. It's a toga. This is my favorite suit. So we're getting into my favorite suit here. This is the Suit of Cups. This was absolutely why I fell in love with this deck, because the artwork on this is so crystal clear, so beautifully done. The water play in the cups, the reflection, just gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? I've never been particularly drawn to the Suit of Cups until this deck, and I just fell in love with it. Just gorgeous. Look at the breaking glass and the water pouring out. It's just beautifully done. Six of Cups. The little candies in the cup there. This little paper origami. There we go. Did anybody else do origami as a kid? I did it when I was real young. And I think I was a weird one though, because I talked to a lot of other people who were like, didn't really care for it. Really? Is it just me? Maybe it's just the people I hang out with. I don't know. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Love this portrayal. I love the smoke that's incorporated into it, to kind of giving that idea of that illusionary success kind of idea. Really well done. The Eight of Cups. This is my husband and my sister's favorite card. I'm not entirely sure why. There's something about the color coming out all the way to the edges in this one. I like the card for other reasons, but it's nice regardless. Love this idea of this Nine of Coins. This is the lap of luxury, right? This beautiful white fox. And you have this money and food and drink and just all this luxury surrounding it. This one I really like. So part of the reason I really like this is the Ten of Cups here. As he talks about it in the book, this crown here is made up of swords, and it's this idea of taking the difficulties in life, the imperfections in life, right, and creating something beautiful out of it. You have the cups around here, right? Most of them are full and well kept and everything, but you have a couple of them that are broken. But even with that, you have this idea of this something beautiful, partaking in something beautiful, and creating something beautiful, both with the difficulties in life and in spite of the difficulties in life. So love this Ten of Cups. This Page of Cups, look at that little rabbit on her shoulder. How sweet is that? I love that. That's just, I'm a little bit of a sucker for rabbits. My sister I actually had two sisters that had rabbits growing up, and they were annoying, in my opinion, to take care of, but just the sweetest looking things ever. It's the Knight of Cups, but what's really weird to me is it has a sword. I don't know, I get it, but I don't get it. It causes a little bit of confusion occasionally when I'm doing readings and that kind of thing. All right, Queen of Cups. Sorry, my brain's taking a second to come back here. Love this Queen of Cups. Beautifully done. This kind of the dark and light fish surrounding the bottom here. That idea of balance of yin and yang. I think beautifully done. And this is the King of Cups. I'm actually really glad this is the last the last card here because I think I'm actually going to read his interpretation of this, because this is another card that changed my perspective, my view on the King of Cups a little bit. I had a hard time connecting with it in most of my other decks. And this was the deck that I kind of go, oh, I get it now. So I'll go ahead and read his interpretation of it. So you have, the key words are calm, collected, diplomatic, and disciplined. The King of Cups is a mature, clear-thinking, and sympathetic figure, perhaps more reserved than the rest of the Cups court. This king is still soft-hearted and caring, carrying the same passionate heart as his family underneath a cooler exterior. He represents calm and control in the midst of stormy seas, a reassuring and composed presence in spite of whatever pressures are surrounding the situation. As a level-headed man, this king is also representative of cooperation and diplomacy. As an octopus, long seen as the predator of nearly all fish, swims alongside other marine life in the warm light of his throne, the King of Cups brings all beings together under one roof. So that, for some reason, just kind of touched me with this particular card. There was something about his words I just go, okay. I had a hard time connecting with a lot of the face court cards in the past, and this was one that was like, I get it now. So we're going to leave it at that. I hope you got a good idea, a good feel for this deck, because it really is a beautifully done deck. I have loved just sitting and looking at it. Honestly, just I love the artwork. I love the style. I love the feel of it. It's a beautifully well thought out deck. So hopefully that gives you an idea of whether or not this is something that you're interested in looking into for yourself in the future, if you have not already purchased this deck. So have a good one, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. And we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.